Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Satchidanandarupaya Vishvotpatyaadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Numaha. Shri Krishnaya Vayam Numaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Panghum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam. Paramanandamadhavam. Om Vang me manasi pratisthita Mano me vachi pratishthitam Aviravir maedhi Vedasya ma'anisthaha Shrutam me ma prahasihi Anena dhitena Ahoratran sandadhami Ridam vadishyami Satyam vadishyami Tanmam avatu Tadvaktaram avatu Avatu mam Avatu vaktaram Avatu vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punaha Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Shri Krishna Govind Hare Murare He Nath Narayan Vasudeva Jihve Pibasvamritameta Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. He Krishna He Yadava He Sakheti. He Krishna He Yadava He Sakheti. He Krishna He Yadava He Sakheti. In the last session, we left at the shloka number 37, the verse number 37. We will read the verse first. We had taken the literal meaning of the verse in the last session. We will get into detail today about it. Hato va prapsyasi swargam jitva va bhokshyase mahim tasmaduttishta kaunteya युद्धाय कृत निश्चयः हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गं जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीं तस्मादुत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृत निश्चयः. So we saw the literal meaning of this verse last time, where Bhagwan says, Arjun, what is going to happen in this war as a result? What are you going to get? He first uses the word hato va, prapsyasi swargam. Either you are going to end up losing your life, but so what? Even if you end up losing your life, you will attain heaven. And jitva va bhokshase mahim. And if you end up winning the war, then definitely you are going to become a king of this whole world, whole earth. You are going to become a bhupati, mahipati. You are going to rule over this kingdom. Tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nischayah. By making a firm resolve to fight, O Arjun, hey Kaunteya, tasmad uttishta. That's why you should get up and fight. You should end up, getting into the fight. So this was the literal meaning we saw in the last, session. So I told a couple of points in the last session that, Bhagwan uses the word, usually a war has got two results. Either a person is going to win the war or the person is going to lose the war. But here, since this is not a war of that stature, it is not the war of that quantum, it is not the war of that magnitude, it is a war much bigger in magnitude with any normal kind of a war. In this war, it's not going to happen that either you are going to win or you are going to lose. That situation is not going to come. The two results which are going to happen in this war is that either you will end up losing your life or you will end up winning. It's not going to happen that you lost the war and you are alive. That's not going to happen in this war, being a final culminating war. On both the sides, there are great people, great warriors standing on both sides. So this is going to be a final. Well, in Hindi we use the word ye nirnayak yudh hai. Nirnayak yudh means it's a final war. That there are only two results which are going to come. Either you will end up losing your life or you will end up winning the war. But the point we need to remember is that Bhagwan picks up Hatova first. So I told you in the last session, Pujya Gurudev used to mention like that, in any kind of a situation, and especially in war or any kind of situation we face in life. For Arjun, it is translating to war. For us, when we face the situation, our attitude, at the time of going into a situation or fighting a situation, or for a soldier fighting a war, should be what? Be ready to receive the worst, but prepare for the best. Always be ready to receive the worst. But your effort should be what? You should always prepare for the best. If you put in your best result, by putting your best effort for the best result, putting your effort for the best result, putting your best of your capability, you are already increasing the probability, the chance of you winning the war. Okay? So you have to put your best. But every time, war is not completely dependent on you. There are some other factors also which are responsible in a war. When you face the situation also, there are some factors which are about you, which are circling around you, about your capability, how you build up, what preparation you did. Those are your own factors which are circling around you. But in a situation also, there are some factors which are out of your control also, right? Which you have no control on. Definitely you can put in your best effort, you can and do your best, you can showcase your best of capability, you can increase the probability of winning in a situation. But yes, be prepared to receive the worst. Why Bhagwan is saying that? There are some external factors also involved which you may or may not have control upon. Those factors, if they end up coming into play, and you end up receiving the other side of the result, or you end up receiving a result which was not what you expected or what you prepared for, at the mental level you should be prepared. So whenever we prepare, I told you, for a soldier like Arjuna, for a warrior like Arjuna, Bhagwan is talking about war here. But how it is going to translate to us? It is going to translate to us that whenever we face situation in this war field of this world, when we face situation in our professional life, when we face situation in our personal life, this should be our level of preparation, our level of mental preparedness, that we should be ready to receive the verse, but we should always prepare for the best. At the level of preparation, this should be our level of preparation, and this should be our mental level of acceptance also. Accept if the result becomes worse. So I told you, from shloka number 31 to 37, from the verse number 31 to 37, Bhagwan picked up this topic of Swadharma, and I told you, in the previous two sessions, Bhagwan is going to lay a lot of emphasis on all of us, that we should definitely be very focused, very watchful, very mindful of our duty in the society, whether it is profession, whether it is towards the society, whether it is towards the total nature, everything. Bhagwan is going to lay a lot of emphasis on that, and he's going to talk about this throughout Bhagavad Gita and many chapters going forward also. So Bhagwan picked up that argument, and from 31st shloka onwards, and this 37th shloka, as I told you in the last session, it is the final conclusion which Bhagwan is coming at. It is the final decision which Bhagwan is giving to Arjuna, concluding his argument here, that this is how I feel it should be. So, as I said, our preparation should be like that we should always be ready to receive the worst, but prepare for the best. When we listen to this, and when we think at the back of our mind, it sounds very difficult. Preparing or I would say that always be ready to receive the worst is not an easy preparation at all, by the way, at the mental level. But at the level of mind, and everybody, even though however difficult it may sound, but I feel that every one of us can definitely, at the level of our mind, prepare for this kind of a situation and in our life. This kind of a thought process will always prepare our mind to receive any, untoward result from our effort. It will always prepare at the mental level. It will not make us fall into depression. It will not make us completely derail from life when something worse happens, and even after our efforts. Because I told you, when we put our efforts, there are many other things also in the play behind it also. It's just not our effort only, but definitely our focus should be, we should definitely put our best. That's why Bhagwan says that, in the war field, Bhagwan is saying, prepare yourself that you may end up losing the war. What will happen if you lose the war, Arjun? Bhagwan is asking a question. And see, at the end you will end up losing life. What will happen if you lose the life? What is the result going to be? Bhagwan says, Arjun, you are definitely going to receive, or you are definitely going to enjoy heaven. Means you are definitely going to go into heaven. Arjun, the thing is that, and this is, please remember, as I told you in the last session also, this is not something which Bhagwan is saying just to motivate Arjun to fight. It's not a motivational statement and from Bhagwan. Since it is coming out of the mouth of Lord, it coming in the words of Bhagwan itself, please remember, this is the final conclusion of all the Vedas also, of all the scriptures also. So Bhagwan is not only motivating Arjun, that Bhagwan is not saying, Arjun, what will happen? You may end up receiving or going to heaven. There is no may here. Bhagwan is saying for sure this is what it is. This is the final conclusion of Bhagwan. And since Bhagwan is saying this, Lord is saying this, this is definitely going to be the result. Arjun, I am concluding and telling you this is what is going to happen. It's not that it may happen, it is definitely going to happen. If you end up losing life, that's for sure that you are going to go into heaven. You are going to enjoy the kind of pleasures of heaven. That is what is meant by Prapsasi Swargam here. So Arjun, when you go into this war field with a thought process, courageous thought process, and on thought process of what? Courageous enough to fight from the side of dharma. Please remember, Arjun, you are fighting from the side of dharma. This war, you are fighting from the side of righteousness. This is a righteous war for you. When you end up going into this kind of a war with a thought process, courageous enough to end up facing the situation and putting your best effort to fight, I am telling you, Arjun, you are definitely, if you end up losing your life, you're definitely going to attain heaven. And that thing which Bhagwan is trying to bring our attention to is that through Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan is telling us this is the final conclusion. This is how I have understood. This is what I'm declaring. It's my declaration. This is what is going to happen, Arjun. Many times, why I brought that up, that it's not a motivational statement which Bhagwan is giving only to motivate Arjun to fight. In wars, we usually see that many a times seniors, they say this statement for the sake of motivation, for motivating the actual soldier, or to just give him some kind of happiness so that he can just be courageous enough to go into fight. But there, that's a statement, because that's the role of the senior to actually motivate. But here, Bhagwan is not saying only for the sake of motivation. Bhagwan is telling all of us that this is my conclusion, that if you end up losing life while doing your duty, I'm not talking about war here only. If you end up focusing on your duty well and put in your best effort out, within your capability towards that duty, and God forbid you end up losing your life in the process of doing your duty, trust me, you are definitely going to gain Swarga. You are definitely going to gain heaven. The other side of it, internal side of it, which our rishis used to say, on this side, is that what happens when you go into a situation with a courageous thought process. We have to see the internal side also. When a person is in the courageous kind of a thought process, and his intellect is full of courageous kind of thoughts before facing a situation, before getting into a situation, that thing which happens internally is that at the level of him, he is placed at his highest chakras. He is placed at his higher chakras. I told you there are many chakras from Mooladhar to Sahasradhar. There are many chakras we speak about. So, when he is in a courageous kind of a thought process, when he is courageous enough and is full of courage, and he goes into a situation, he internally, at his level, at his internal level, at his own level, he is placed at his higher chakras. At the higher level of chakras he is placed. He is not at the or lower chakras at all. On the other side, when a person is filled with a covered kind of a thought, and he is covered to face the situation, he is in a covered kind of a thought process as to face a situation, it is said by our rishis that he is placed at his lower chakras. That's one thing which you need to remember. The other side is that when a man is filled with courageous kind of thought process, his intellect is fully blossomed. It's always full of illumination. It is so illuminated that it's completely at its best of expansion. His intellectual expansion is full. And when a person goes into a situation with such kind of a level, he is placed internally at higher chakras, and his intellect is fully developed, fully illuminated, fully blossomed like a blossomed flower. At that time, if he end up losing his life, it is never possible that he attains a lower life after going from this life. It's never going to happen. On the other side, when a person's intellect or mind is filled with covered kind of thought process, he is placed at lower chakras, and his intellect is, closed kind of an intellect. It's not open at all. It is not developed at all. It is a closed kind of an intellectual situation he attains within himself. If he end up losing life like that, it's never possible that he attains he evolves into a higher being after losing life here. That's not going to happen. And I don't have to go to so much detail also. Even if you see, in the actual transactional world, in this world also, those people who are courageous as in their own thought process, they are able to face situation courageously. Think over it, that they live a life which is blossomed, which is open. They live a peaceful life. On the other hand, a coward kind of a person, whose intellect is filled with coward kind of a thought, even if he is living in this world also, he runs away from situation, living in this world also, his intellect will always be closed kind of an intellect. His intellect will be completely undeveloped, underdeveloped kind of an intellect. He will actually living in this world also, around him he will be living in a hell of his own. That is what Lord is wanting to tell from this verse here. So Arjun, with that thought, go into this fight, preparing yourself with your readiness to receive the verse, and preparing yourself to get the best of result, preparing yourself to put the best of your effort. So Arjun, even if you end up losing life, Prapsisi Swargam, Bhagwan is giving a guarantee here. I guarantee you, it's my promise to you that if you end up losing life like this, you will definitely attain Swarga. And on the other hand, if with your best effort you end up winning this war, then also just see, you are going to enjoy pleasure here in this kingdom. You are going to enjoy this whole kingdom. You are going to enjoy your kingship over this kingdom. You are going to enjoy your rule over this whole kingdom. And it says Bhupati means the king of the whole world. Mahipati means king of the portion you have won over. So what you are going to do, Jitvava Bhokshase Mahim. You are going to enjoy the pleasure of being a king, enjoy the kingship, the pleasure of kingship here in this world, even if you end up winning the war. Even if you end up losing the war, you are going to attain heaven. So Bhagwan is trying to explain Arjuna, you see what a beautiful kind of a win-win situation it is. Both ways you are going to win. If you end up losing your life, you're going to win by gaining heaven, and you're going to enjoy the pleasure over there. If you end up winning this war, you are going to end up gaining the pleasure of kingdom, gaining the pleasure and enjoying the pleasure here in the kingdom. So it's a win-win situation, Arjun. I don't see any reason why you should not go into this war, or and why you should end up fighting. So how you should get up, Bhagwan is pushing Arjun. Bhagwan is telling Arjun, he Kaunteya, tasmad uttishta. Because it is like this, Arjun, he Kaunteya. I told you Kaunteya means Kunti Putra. I told you every address has got a meaning in Bhagavad Gita. Here Bhagwan is bringing Arjun's attention by calling him Kaunteya, his attention to his mother. You see your mother. You are the son of Mother Kunti. And who is Kunti? Irrespective of so many difficulties in life, she bravely stood through all of them. She fought through all of them. She had passed through as a winner from all of them. How difficult the life of Mother Kunti was. When children were born, Pandu expired. Pandu lost his life. And she had to take care of three of her children, which is Yudhishthira, Arjun and Bhim. And not only that, Madri also went into the pyre, became a sati with Pandu Maharaj. So she had to take care of two sons of Madri also, Nakul and Sahadev. So she didn't end up jumping into the fire as a sati. She didn't end up getting dejected in life. She bravely fought through this situation to come across, and you see the result. What kind of a children she had helped develop and grow such good children. What kind of a children you are? Or just because Kunti, your mother Kunti sacrificed her life, just because Mother Kunti bravely fought through the life, just because Mother Kunti courageously moved through all the situations in life, that's why you are standing here. You are here because of her, Arjun. So you are the son of Mother Kunti. You are the son of that courageous, brave woman Kunti. Hey Kaunteya, he is bringing attention, that kind of same courageousness you should also develop, Arjun. You should stand up, tasmad uttishta, hey Kaunteya. But don't just stand up to make a decision to run away from here. Yuddhaya krita nischaya. Having made a firm resolve to fight. Yuddhaya krita nischaya. Having made a firm resolve, making it firm in your mind, making a firm decision in your mind, making a firm conclusion in your mind, and that you are going to end up fighting. You will go into this fight. Tasmad uttishta. With that thought process, with that firm resolve, Arjun, get up. Which technically means Arjun is still sitting, he's not got up yet. I will read some portion of Bhagwan Shankaracharya's Bhashya here. Bhagwan Shankaracharya, brings up this attitude that what Bhagwan is telling Arjun to get into fight with. He says, yat evam tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nischaya. What is the firm resolve, Arjun, you should make? In Bhagwan Shankaracharya's language, he says, Jaishyami shatrun marishyami va iti nischayam kritva iti arthaha. That making the firm resolve what? Jaishyami shatrun. I am going to win over these enemies. Marishyami va. Even if I have to end up losing my life, I will fight with this kind of a resolve. Arjun, you should get up and fight. He says, Bhagwan Shankaracharya says, Hatova prapsyasi swargam, hatasan swargam prapsyasi. Even if you end up losing your life, you're definitely going to gain heaven. Jitva va karnadin shuran. Who are you going to win over? In case you win over this war, win over who? Karnadin, Karna, etc. Bhokshase mahim. You are going to end up enjoying this kingdom and end up enjoying the kingship over this whole kingdom. Ubhayata api tava labha eva iti abhiprayah. Means what? What Bhagwan Shankaracharya says, both sides, it's a win-win for you. You are going to, gain either ways. Even if you end up losing life also you are gaining. Even if you end up winning also, both ways you are gaining. So Arjun, with that resolve, you should get up and fight. One thing I want to point out here, when he says, is that the courageous kind of a thought process demands what? It doesn't say that I will always be a winner. That is not what courageous kind of a thought process involves. I'll give you one example. Guru Govind Singh Ji, when he went into the fight with the Muslims at that time, in his own prayer to Mother Bhavani, when he went into the final fight with Guru Govind Singh Ji, in his prayer, in his ardas to Ma Bhavani, he asked this boon from Mother Bhavani, Mother Kali or Mother Bhavani. He says what? What he says, Nischay kar apni jeet karun. He says, hey Mother, bless me with a firm decision that I should be able to win over. He doesn't stop there. If it would have been, he would have stopped there, that is an incomplete statement. No, he doesn't stop there. He says, as after that, if it doesn't happen like that, then what it should happen? To juj maru. So I should end up fighting this war and losing my life. I should lose this life fighting this war, but I should ensure, I should prepare for the best. I should end up with this focus that I should prepare my best for winning the war, but I should also be ready to receive the worst. So at that point Bhagwan says, now from the next shloka, Bhagwan is going to talk about what should be our attitude in work. how we should work. So he says, Bhagwan Shankaracharya also connecting the shloka says, Tatra yuddham swadharma iti eva yuddhyamanasya upadesham imam shrunu. War, fighting this war is your duty, Arjun. Thinking this, making this firm resolve. Or, Bhagwan continues his teachings and, his discourse. He says, what you would think before getting into this war, with what thought process you should get into this war. Further, Bhagwan says, in 38th shloka, Bhagwan is giving us the message of how we should do our action for all of us. I'm talking about in the 38th shloka. But before we get into the 38th shloka, where Bhagwan is teaching us what should be our attitude to work. How should we all work? Now, please remember, when I use this word work, think over it. What do you mean by work? Intelligent action is actually called work. I'm repeating myself. Puja Gurudev used to say, intelligent action is called work. Mere sweating and toiling is not work. It is labor. There is a difference between labor and work. Mere sweating and toiling is just labor. It's not work. Now there is a point I want to highlight here from a creation perspective. Animals act. Plants respond. A man alone can work. Just think. Animals act. Plants respond. Man alone have the capability, the capacity to work. In the case of plant kingdom, they are also alive. Right? They are also alive. But they can only respond to water and sunlight. Means moisture and sunlight. Plants are also alive, but they can only respond to water, which is moisture, and sunlight. In animals, they act prompted by their instincts and impulses. Now turn back to us. We also have got impulses and instincts like animals. But apart from them, man has got a subtle equipment named discriminative intellect. Because of this judging ability and rational thinking capacity, even though the impulses arise as in any animal in every one of us, with our discriminative intellect, we give it a creative turn. And that is how man is able to achieve great things. Just think. To express your feelings is the instinct of an animal and not the dignity of a man. You think and judge yourself. You think and judge if it is going to bring happiness to me or others, if it's going to destroy the peace and tranquility of mine and others, I give it a turn and refuse to express it, and this is called work. Work is not action, rather it is an intelligent action. That is the difference between man and animals and plants. Remember, all these three are alive. But the difference, as I highlighted, plants respond, animals act according to their impulses and instinct. Man has got this subtle equipment called discriminative intellect, because of which he can choose not to act according to his impulses and instincts every time. Rather, he can turn it around and think rationally and judge with his thinking that I will only act if I will only work, or I will only convert an act into a work if it brings happiness to me or others. If it's going to destroy the peace and tranquility of mine and others, I give it a turn and refuse to accept it, refuse to express it. With this as thought in mind, we'll go into the 38th verse, 38th shloka. Sukha dukhe same krutva labha labhau jaya jayau tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. Sukha dukhe same krutva labha labhau jaya jayau tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. Now this is the level of thought process through Bhagavad Gita. Bhagwan is wanting all of us, Bhagwan is guiding all of us to develop. Now when you look at an action, I told you about what is the difference between respond, act and work. With that thought at the back of the mind, if you look at the action, Bhagwan has outlined 6 kind of results, which are the only kind of results we can get in any action we do. He uses 6 kind of results we get from any action we do. What is the any work we do? Sukha, dukkha, that's one kind of a result which is quite internal in nature. The second thing, in the second pair of 2, or the third and fourth thing is labha alabha, means profit or loss. Labh means profit, alabha means hani, hani means loss. The third kind of pair, or the fifth and sixth kind of result we can get is jay ajay, means either we will win or we will lose. Ajay means parajay. So jay parajay. So Bhagwan says these are the 6 kind of results we can get from any action. Just think. Any action you translate, any work you do, you cannot think of any 7th, 8th result outside of this. Now remember, sukha dukkha is antarang, is more internal in nature. Whereas labh alabh means profit or loss, gain or loss, jay parajay, jay ajay means win or lose. They are kind of external results. But remember, both these labh alabh and jay parajay, means labh hani and jay parajay, they also translate internally into sukha or dukkha. So the final result of our work or our action is going to be sukha or dukkha only. Internally, at the mental level. Profit and loss is an external side of the result. Win or lose is also an external, bahirang. We use the word bahirang in Sanskrit. They are bahirang phal, whereas sukha dukkha is antarang phal. This is the kind of thought process. Bhagwan saying what? Same krutva. Maintain an equipoise in any of these kind of results. Maintain a balance, a mental balance, an internal tranquility whenever you go through these kind of pair of opposites of results. Whenever you go through any of these results, maintain your inner equipoise, maintain your mental tranquility, maintain your balance, maintain equanimity of mind when you go through these results. Same krutva. Amongst all these kind of results, always maintain a balance, always maintain a equipoise, always maintain your inner tranquility, always maintain your inner equipoise. Bhagwan saying, first do this, tataha yuddhaya yujyasva. When you are able to get into an action with this thought process, naivam papam avapsyasi. you are not going to inherit any kind of sin. This Bhagavan is saying here in this Bhagavad Gita itself. Arjun, firmly place your intellect with this kind of thought process. Before any action, first understand this first before you get into any action. Now, one thing you need to just know here, at the time of receiving result, you cannot maintain this kind of a thing. This kind of a preparation has to get in. We have to get into this kind of a preparation before we get into an action, or at the time of getting into the action. Mostly actually before doing the action only. Because when we are into the action, we are so busy managing our performance and action that we may not get time to think over the result, or get to this kind of a thought process while we are in the action. So Bhagwan is saying this has to happen when karma kal mein. Karma kal mein means at the time or before the action. Don't think that, this kind of a thing, I will not do any of these kind of things before the action. But when the result come, I will be able to maintain in equipoise. I will be able to maintain a balance. Try doing that. It's not going to happen. Because when you get into the result without this kind of a preparation, you will be so busy managing yourself through the result, whether good or bad, that you may have no time to manage yourself, maintain yourself to reach this equipoise. So Bhagavan is saying, Arjun, remember, this is the kind of thought process, this is the kind of preparation at the level of action you have to get into before getting into the action, before getting into the level of receiving the result in completion. In Ramcharit Manas also, it is said that, Hanumanji, when he set out to Lanka to search for Sita ji, it is said that Hanumanji, said that, Bar bar Raghuvir Sambhari, Tarkeu Pavan Tanay Balbhari. He says that, before he jumped the ocean and got into Lanka to search for Sita ji, again and again he was managing the thought of Bhagwan within himself. Remember, and just think over it. When a situation comes, when the result comes to us, at that time, thinking of God is not an easy thing at all. You will be so busy fighting through that result, managing that result, saving yourself from bad result, or you will be so much drowned in enjoying the good result. Do you think a new thought process you will be able to develop? That's not going to happen. So Bhagavan says, Arjun, before that, set out your intellectual thought process in such a way that you are able to maintain an equipoise and maintain an acceptance for the kind of result. You are not going to lose your mental balance, come what may, whatever result comes out of your action. Remember, Bhagwan is not giving this kind of teaching only to Arjun to people in the war field. It's a message to us. It's a message to all of us. Bhagwan is saying, Sukha Dukhe Same Kritva, Labha Labhau Same Kritva, Jaya Jayau Same Kritva. Maintaining a balance internally at your mental level, whether happiness comes or sorrow comes from this action, whether profit comes or loss comes from this action, whether victory comes or defeat comes from this action, manage yourself to maintain a mental balance in both the situation and then get into the war. Tata Yuddhaya. Bhagavan is going to talk about this at a different level in 18th chapter or 26th shloka also, when he says, Siddhya Siddhyor Nirvikaraha Karta Satvika Uchyate. Bhagavan is going to say that, and please underline this word of 38th shloka which Bhagavan is saying, Sukha dukkhe same kritva, because I'm going to refer it when Bhagavan in the coming shlokas in second chapter also he brings it up again. When he uses the word samatvam yoga uchyate, is going to come in the further shloka. When he talks about that, I'm going to bring it up. In the 18th chapter, 26th shloka, Bhagavan says, Siddhi siddhyor nirvikara karta satvikam uchyate. Even at the time of siddhi or asiddhi, even when you have got great capabilities developed, you have got capability to achieve anything, or you are not able to develop your asiddhi, you are not able to develop something, nirvikaraha. Maintain your intellectual level in such a way that no thoughts disturb you, no thoughts arise, is whether to, take you into depression or, make you into drown yourself into ego. Oh, nirvikara, that kind of a karta, that kind of a doer, I will call him sattvic karta. I am going to come when we come to chapter 18, and in the due course of going through the other chapters also. Oh, I'm going to bring it up that way. Remember, as I said, at the time of receiving fruit, we won't be able to set this kind of a goal within ourselves. We won't be able to set this kind of a limit at our mental level. This has to happen just before action. Just before or getting into the action, we have to prepare ourselves to remain equanimous, equipoised, and maintain our mental balance in whatever results we go through. Now there are two sides I brought about earlier also. I am going to bring about that now also. What are the two sides I brought about earlier? There are two kind of doership in this thing. And I brought it up when I picked up the 31st verse, 31st shloka. I am going to bring that again. There are two kind of people who can achieve this. The first kind of people, while I won't call them too high, and I'm not going to call it to be too easy also for them, those are the people who have got complete focus on their duty. They are absolutely focused on their duty. They are firm in their duty, and they get into the duty. Whatever results come, they say that no, I will not be bothered by the result. Because it's my duty, I will do it. Even if I have to go through pain, I will end up doing it. That kind of a thought process also will help you set this kind of a limit, set this kind of a goal of sukha dukkhe same kritva, labha alabha jaya jayo. So, with absolute focus on duty, since it is my duty, I will do it. And I will not look into it, what I get from it. Even if I have to go through pleasure or I have to go through pain, I'll accept it because it's my duty, I'll do it. I will not focus on the result at all. Definitely, their duty is kept at the higher pedestal. Some person who is doing this, who is achieving this kind of, who is setting this kind of a goal for himself, he has put duty first. He has got focus on duty. He has kept duty at the higher pedestal. Well, for him, duty is higher than pleasure and pain to him. He is not going to look after he is not going to worry about the pain also. He is not going to get drowned in the pleasure also, because for him duty is first. We use this word, duty first. Duty is first. I'll do it. Even if I go through pleasure and pain, doesn't matter, I'll do it. Yes, this kind of setting a limit is achievable for such kind of a person also. For them, when duty comes first, pleasure or pain becomes secondary. And pleasure and pain loses focus in life, the focus always remains on the duty. Such kind of a person also can do it. It's pretty difficult, no doubt about it. And because every preparation has to be done by the person himself. Why I'm saying this kind of a person, and who are these kind of people who do not have devotion towards God, or who do not have faith in God. Those kind of a people, if they want to set this equanimity of sukha dukkhe same kritva, labha labha jaya jayo, then they have to be completely duty focused and not focused on pleasure and pain at all. Whatever comes out of it doesn't matter. Whatever comes out of these gates when they are opened, and I will look at what I need to do. I will not worry about whatever comes out as a result at all. So that's the first level of people. Those people can also set this goal. The second level, which is a much better level and much easier level to do and much comfortable level to do, is under Bhaktivad. I told you in the 31st verse when I was explaining it, two kind of vad, or two kind of people, two kind of thought process of people, Karmavadi and Bhaktivadi. Karmavadi means they will focus on karma. They talk about it that, from karma only I'll do whatever I need to do. I don't believe in God, or, do not have so much faith or devotion in God. The next kind of people is Bhaktivadi people. For Bhaktivadi people also, this Sukha Dukkhe Same Kritva Labha Labho Jaya Jayo is also possible for them. There, who is at the higher pedestal, who is kept at the higher pedestal over there, is God. Then, when God is kept at the higher pedestal, whatever result comes is the prasad, is the kind of a result or kind of a gift of God to me. Prasad of God to me means gift of God to me. So, Paramatma, my Ishwar, my Bhagwan, my Krishna sends me this result. And he must have already looked through it. When he has already seen through the result, I am sure it is going to be good for me. Whether it is difficult for me or whether it is easy for me, whether it is pleasure for me, whether it is pain for me, it is a situation sent by my God. And how is my God? One thought process I'll tell you, which I learned from my Pujya Guruji, Swami Subodhanandji, he is who? He is my Malik Sahib. He is my owner. I am what? His servant. My relationship with him is what? Of a master and servant. Malik Sahib means master. He is my master and I am his servant. And as a servant with a focus on my master, I will do my duty. My focus is not on whether it is pleasure or pain. God has sent this. He is my master. I will do as a service towards him. Whatever comes is his gift to me and I will go through it. When you have that kind of a thought process, definitely yes, you can set this limit of Sukha Dukkhe Same Kritva Labha Alabhau Jaya Jayo. You can definitely maintain equipoise because God is the master. He has already seen what is good for me. Whatever I am doing is only my service towards him. My duty is my service towards my God. My focus should be on what? Not on the result which comes in. My focus should be on that, whether with my action my God is happy or not. Am I able to give happiness to my God? Is he pleased with my work? Is he happy? Is he smiling with my work? I have no capability, I have no ability to make him happy. He is the master of this whole universe. What I can do to make him happy? But with my action, is my God happy with me or is he worried with me with my action? That should be my focus. My focus should be that I should do my best when I am doing for my master because his happiness is my happiness. If he is happy, what more you can ask for? Just think, if with your work God is happy, he is the master of universe. If the master of universe is happy with your work, whose happiness you require? What more result you require? What is that you require in your life? Is happy. If he is happy with your work, then you will start feeling his happiness. You will start feeling his grace. You will start feeling his blessings in your heart personally. He will start expressing it in your heart. He will start expressing in your intellect. He will start expressing it around you. Just remember, when many people start to become happy with your work, if you have devotion towards God and keep him at a higher pedestal, well, when he starts becoming happy with your work, many people start appreciating your work. I told you, when you start doing your Swadharma, when you have focus on Swadharma and you have focus on God together, focus on God, and because it's God sent, I'm doing my Swadharma, I'm doing my duty. When God starts being happy with you, you will start feeling the happiness through the expression of people around you. You will start suddenly seeing your kirti, your fame, your name starts to increase. That's the way God starts to express. You will start seeing in what you start to wish, whatever you think of, God starts to fulfill it through people, through people around you. Now, these are the two levels what I spoke about. If a person do not have any of these two levels, I have to talk about the third level also, which I will call about the common man. A common man does not have a focus on his duty also. He does not have devotion to God also. Then how the third kind of a person, the common people around us, how they get into an action, how they get into work, their focus will always be on result. Haven't you seen people asking you, I will do this, but what will I get? Their focus is on result. Their focus is not on action also. Their focus is not on duty. Their focus is definitely not on God. They are always focused on what result I will get. Now, when we see Mahatmas around, when they set out to work in the field, they don't set out to work in the field with result in mind. If I get this result, I will do. Remember, if the focus is on result, if you do not get the result, you will stop working. Because your focus is result. If I get the result, I will work. If I don't get the result, search someone else. This is the attitude of people in the common world. So, Bhagwan says here, Arjun, these are the three kind of people I talk about. Or the highest level of people who I talk about is the people who have focus on God. This is a God-sent situation. I will work on it to make my God happy, make my master happy. That's the topmost level of people. The second level of people, which is better than the worst side of it also, which are good, may not be at the top level, are those people who do the duty with only focus on duty in mind. Their focus is only on duty. Whatever I get out of it doesn't matter, whether pleasure or pain or whatever, I will end up doing it. I will end up going through it. That's their focus. That's the second level of people who are still good. The third level, Nikrist level, or the lowest level of people, are the people who work with only focus about result in mind. If I get this, I'll do. If I don't get this, I will not do. Puja Maharaji Swami Subodhananji used to say this, that after careful thinking about all these things, he used to say that I came to this conclusion: it's always better to live in life as a humble servant of the Master of Universe, which is God. I also keep saying this whenever people ask me about my work and all. I says, I may work wherever on the professional side, but for me, my boss is God. I am only a worker of God. I only work for God. I only work for Him. My focus is only on God. He should be happy. That's what more important. And so, Puja Guruji Swami Subodhananji used to say that, Maharaji used to say that I have understood after careful thinking that, we should always remain like a humble servant of our Master of the Universe. Full day, we should be engaged in our duty towards Him. And in between, we should keep checking, keep giving our attendance to Him. Bhagwan, I am doing it. I am present today. Like we in the office, we say, we mark our presence, and whenever we go, and the days we don't go, we are marked absent. So you should always keep marking your presence. Bhagwan, I am there, I am doing your work. I am present today, I am not on leave at all. And we should in between ask Him also, Bhagwan, I hope, you are happy with my work. If you are not very happy with my work, I hope you are not very dissatisfied with my work. I hope you are satisfied with my work. That's what we should keep asking. Tulsi Babaji used to say कि मैं खोटा हूँ या खरा हूँ, मैं हूँ तो आपका. Whether I am bad or I am good, but I am yours. Bhagwan, I belong to you. Whatever it is, I am yours. And this is exactly the thought process of Meera ji also. Shyam mane chakkar rakho ji. O Shyam, O Lord Krishna, keep me as your servant. This is the kind of thought process. If we are able to maintain this in our intellect, then please remember, we will never have a focus on sukha dukkha, labha alabha, jay parajay. We will never have the focus on that at all. In common parlance also, or in the transactional world also, when I fall in love with something, then the thing which you see inside you is that you automatically start to develop faith in that. And your mind starts to remain engaged in such thing, which usually your mind makes it very difficult for you to engage in something. But in a transactional world, when you start developing love towards this thing, and especially I'm talking about God, when you start to develop love towards God or your duty also, I will say, you start establishing faith in God or your duty, so to say, and slowly, gradually, your mind starts to keep itself engaged in that, which in earlier time it was very difficult. Where mind does not have raga, where mind does not have interest, it will not let you sit there. It will not let you focus on that thing at all. And people say that usually this kind of an attitude, this kind of a way to develop your mind is little difficult. But Bhakti Devi is so great. When you start to develop devotion, these kind of thought process, these kind of internal resolve, these kind of mental resolve starts to become natural in you. This starts to come automatically inside you. So I said these things have to be set before you get into the action. And one example I'll give you is not that the barat, the groom has arrived with this entire people and party at the bride's house. Then you will go into the kitchen and start preparing for things. You have to do that before. It can't happen at that time. And he's saying that at all level of results, maintain this equanimity and then get into the war. Tataha yuddhaya yujyasva. After getting into this, after maintaining this resolve inside you, after maintaining this equipoise inside you, after developing this intellectual conviction about this inside you, yuddhaya yujyasva. Join in the fight. Yujyasva means join. Enjoin yourself with the war. If you enjoin, and by keeping this in mind, naivam papam avapsyasi, you are not going to inherit any kind of sin. That's the kind of message Bhagwan is wanting to drive from this verse, drive from this shloka. In the situations which come to us as a block to our duties, is we should end up having focus in God or duty, and with our whatever capability we have, according to dharma, invest our energy into that. That is what Bhagwan is wanting to tell us from this verse. In usual common parlance, and we do things according to our ability. According to our ability only work is given to us. Duty doesn't come to you which you are not capable to do. If it has come to you, that means your capability is already there. Without capability, duties don't come to us. So Bhagwan is saying, Arjun, with this thought process, get into the fight. Naivam papam avapsyasi. Bhagwan Shankaracharya says in his Bhashya, Sukha dukkhe same tulye kritva, maintaining a balance between sukha and dukkha. Raga dveshau akritva iti etat, means without having any strong liking or without getting into any strong liking and disliking, without getting into that, without generating a strong liking and disliking, get into a work. Tatha labha alabhau jaya jayau cha samau krutva, maintaining a balance between labh alabh means profit or gain or loss, jaya parajay means victory or defeat, च समौ कृत्वा ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व घटस्व. Get into this fight, let this war happen. न एवं युद्धम कुर्वन् पापम अवाप्स्यसि. By doing a war, by getting into doing your duty, by fulfilling your duty this way, by doing a war this way, कुर्वन् पापम अवाप्स्यसि इति एषा उपदेश प्रासंगिकः. This is a natural, advice to Arjun. You are not going to inherit any kind of sin, even if you end up killing everyone standing in front of you by getting into such kind of a war. Remember, you are not going to inherit any kind of sin, and sin's definition I have already given. Sin is basically, the internal meaning you should understand is that which blocks my spiritual evolution. That which blocks my path to spiritual evolution is all sin. So in this, when you end up doing this kind of work with this kind of mental attitude, Arjun, remember, you are going to exhaust your accumulated vasanas, you are going to exhaust your accumulated habits which are blocking in your spiritual evolution, and you are not going to acquire new vasanas, you are not going to acquire new habits which will further create a blockage to your spiritual path. You will become free from all these blockage and you will be free to evolve spiritually. That's the message Bhagwan is wanting to give us from this shloka. Rest we see in the next class. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांतिः. हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम. ओम तत्सत्.